You know what, Dirter? Just watch your mouth, okay? I don't like when you talk to me like that. They actually kicked it off like right at 6:15 today. Shocking. Hi, Dirter. Welcome back in. Welcome everybody else who's hanging out, watching. Cowboys Seahawks, best Thursday night football game of the year because everybody gets a whole week to prepare. Two teams that played on Thanksgiving facing off against one another. So absolutely love this week of Thursday night football. Dak already going, I was going to say going deep. It's not really deep, but it's a nice pass over the middle. Get himself, I was going to say into Seahawks territory, but he's just short of it. Right about the 50-yard line. Hi, Dirter. Let me know if any of you got bets on the game, as always. I took Seahawks plus 9.5. This is not Diet Coke. It's Coke glass. Coca-Cola glass that Ben stole from someplace that he worked for. But it is not Diet Coke. Seahawks in their throwback uniforms. And all it makes me think of, because they are decent looking, like I don't have a huge problem with them, but all it makes me think of is everybody talks all the time about, like, I don't think people realize how much nostalgia affects what they want in their day-to-day life. People could not stand those uniforms. They are ugly. They're not good-looking uniforms. And I probably like them better than most people back when they wore them. And then they announced that they're bringing them back, and everyone's like, oh my God, they're the best. I can't believe they're such beautiful uniforms. Why are they? And like, you guys hated them. It's why they got rid of them. Same thing's going on with Bronco uniforms right now. Everybody's like, oh, the Broncos have to change their uniforms. They're so outdated, blah, blah, blah. And I guarantee you 20 years from now, 15 years from now, everyone's going to be like, oh, man, you got to bring back the Super Bowl uniforms. Oh. It's like, oh, I hate the hypocrisy of it. It drives me crazy. They are force feeding CeeDee Lamb right now. Little double reverse. 100% Dirter. They are absolutely the best classes. That's why I use it all the time. They're like, it's like, see, I think you're too young for this, Dirter, but like, you used to go to the Pizza Hut pizza buffet. They had like the little salad bar, and they had like pizzas out, and there's a whole bunch of video games in there, like the big stand-up games. Nostalgia. That's why they're the best classes. Good solid glass. Not that cheap plastic. You know what I mean? Geno Smith. I'm still not like a huge believer, but he's a fun story. Oh, could you imagine you sitting behind one of those people with a cowboy hat on like that? How annoying would that be? Oof. We the best glasses. What up, other people in here? If you're like my cousins that are just hovering in here, knock it off. Say what's up. I get texts from like one of you a week, like, hey, I watched you on your stream. You did such a good job. And it's like, yeah, then why aren't you chatting in the stream? Oh, they almost got him. And then a terrific play by Tariq Woolen. Two in a row. Good plays from 27. They got a great set of corners, man. Yeah, that's great coverage. This is textbook coverage for if you don't turn your head, is what that was from Tyreek Woolen. If you're not turning around playing the ball, you're just playing the receiver. That is teach tape. That's beautiful. Oh, what a catch. It's a great catch. He's it was a great throw by Dak too because he was covered. That's throwing a guy open. That's NFL. It's beautiful. First and goal. Cowboys, man. I don't know. I'm still not like a huge believer in them, but they've looked real good on this drive, and I just feel like they've been dominating bad teams. Played okay against Philly. Played pretty good, I should say. Yeah, they got to figure out how to get Tony Pollard going, man. Like the play call. Oh, and a great play. Is that Witherspoon? Yeah. Witherspoon off the corner. Dak boots out, tries to throw it over his head. I like the play call because you fake the run and then you give him this run pass option. And Witherspoon doesn't hesitate. He makes a decision and sticks with it and gets close enough to Dak that he's able to bat the ball down um, instead of just getting caught in no man's land. That's the thing. If you're that conflict defender, you just have to make a decision. Oh, and they got him. Is that Wagner? Jordan Brooks. Well, nice. I mean, huge for Seattle there to hold him to a field goal because that was a march down the field for the Cowboys. Huge for the Seahawks. 3-0. All right, we'll take the commercial break with them. Be right back. Welcome back. Had to hit a little commercial break there so we could turn off the pre-roll for people joining the channel. As always, if you've got bets, I want to hear about them. Let me know who you bet on. I took the 9.5. I went Seahawks plus 9.5. No Kenneth Walker made me hesitate on that, but I don't know. I just the Seahawks team is annoying. They hang close. I think that first drive they got walked on, but we're able to hold the Cowboys to only a field goal. So let's see if they can go get a score and stay in this game, or if they 3 and out, punt it back, and the Cowboys drive right down the field and score. Because those two things are going to make me feel very different. Zach Charbonnet, your starting running back tonight. You know, the Seahawks, they have like one of the best wide receiver groups in the league. And for me, it's just like, when are you going to. I mean, maybe you just don't have the quarterback for it, but when are you going to just let it rip, man? You should be winning one-on-ones all the time with these 3 wide receivers. And somebody like DK Metcalf should eat zone coverage. So, but hey, look what you're doing. And this is something even I think Colleen Wolfe mentioned it. I was watching NFL Network pregame. How do you slow down a pass rusher like Micah Parsons who just dominates? The answer: run the ball right at him. Tyler Lockett not happy with the call. Oh, I don't know why. I feel so uncomfortable tonight. Maybe it's the 9.5. That is normal movement from the center. That's a bad call. I'm with you, Tyler Lockett. I get you. There you go. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. DK Metcalf on a slant route takes it 70 for a touchdown. And that's exactly what I'm talking about, man. They should be winning matchups all over the place with those wide receivers. They should absolutely be torching teams. They got 3 as a 3 wide receiver set, it's probably the best in the NFL. It's them, or it's Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, and T. Higgins. Little post. Is this a post or a slant? Post. Nice route. Nice route. Not too much shimmy, just foot in the ground, and just, I'm an athletic freak and I'm going to outrun you. And he absolutely did. That's beautiful. Yeah. I mean, that's just DK Metcalf being an absolute unit. You know what I mean? I love that. All right. Let's start going over the NFL week that will be. Let's see. Nope, that's college football. All right. Get it set up here. All right, our first game of the week. Colts and Titans. Colts hanging in that. They were in that last playoff spot. I should probably have the playoff standings up, so let me pull them up. They were in that last playoff spot, but I don't know how the Bills dropping out of a tie with them is affecting the standings right now. It was a 4-way tie, and the Colts were winning that four-way tie, but as a three-way tie, I don't know if the Colts are still winning it. They are. So the Colts currently in that seventh playoff spot at 6-5, and people just, I don't know, man, keep doubting Garner Minshew, and he just keeps finding ways to win. Now, listen, this is part of the reason why I said that I think the Jaguars could end up being the 2 or the 1 seed. They have an NFC South crossover. So the AFC South and the AFC South are playing each other, which means you got 4 teams against a South Division team. And then the 6 games inside your division, you can get 10 wins and beat 10 bad teams. So Colts at 6-5, 4-1 away. I thought there was 4-1 in the division, but I was gonna say that tells you everything that you need to know. 6-5, playing the 4-7 Titans. I don't know. Let's see what the Titans last game looked like. I didn't really watch them play the Panthers all that much. I just caught highlights. Will Levis, 18 of 28 for 185 yards. Derrick Henry, 18 carries, 76 yards, 2 touchdowns. Hopkins, 3 catches for 49 yards. I mean, just not overall inspiring, right? So, I don't know. In my mind, that should be a Colts win, but you just never know with these AFC South teams. There's a lot of paper tigers. And I think Houston's actually good, but I don't know. That route from Metcalf one-on-one is just beautiful. All right, so if you're Dallas, you got to put together another drive that's just as dominant and go score. And if you're Seattle, if you can get a stop here, I mean, it feels huge for you. Get him. Can you hear somebody who bet Seahawks plus 9.5? Because I might be looking to get an early middle here. I think I had a hard time pulling the trigger on the 9.5 because I think Dallas is the better team. If Dallas punts the ball back here and I can get maybe even money, I might pull the trigger on that being my middle. Oh man, what's up? Wow, Josh really can't get it done for real. He's like 0-6 in overtime games. Yeah, you want to blame that game on Josh Allen? I mean, all the shit that you could possibly talk about the Bills and Josh Allen is is who you want to talk smack about, Milk? I don't know. All right. Okay. Whatever makes you happy, baby boy. Yeah, you cannot. If you are playing over the top like this, you cannot let him get a first down. Catching a check down like that. Now he takes a shot. Oh, do not throw a flag. You have got to be kidding. Show me again. Show me. That's fine. Come on. I think that's a terrible call, and everybody just seems like they're okay with it. It's weird to me that they can't get Tony Pollard going too. And I don't know. I mean, maybe it's the pressure of expectation. Maybe it's that the defense isn't worn down by a back like Zeke slamming into the line. But Tony Pollard is, or should be, a good back. I just don't know what to expect, man. Well, so scenario number two of the two scenarios I talked about played out. Dallas right down the field for a score, and they really look like they've got this defense's number. They got to make some adjustments. But you want Witherspoon on him. Yeah. I don't mind the switch there. I don't. I'd actually rather Witherspoon on him than Jamal Adams. But okay, let's see what the lines are now. I was really hoping to get Cowboys even money, but that ain't happening. Come on, why are you being stupid? Let's see. Y'all receivers can't do a route, right? I mean, touchdown, y'all win, but no. Yeah, there was that wasn't a route. It was it's called an option route, and they read it differently. Gabe Davis broke out. He threw it in. I'm sure that's the play you're talking about. Um, Happens like that sometimes. They read it differently. I don't think that means they can't do a route. So, and season over? I don't think so. But that was a huge loss for them. And each loss that they have pushes them further and further closer to the brink. Um, they got to pretty much win out, especially with how crowded it is and the fact that they have lost a bunch of AFC games. Bills pretty much have to end up at 11 wins to really make sure they get in. 10 wins will make it probably put them into tiebreaker scenarios, which will be dangerous, and 9 wins is probably a no for them. So, but 6 losses. They have their bye week now. You can get to 11 wins. Um, you watch that game. You tell me if they're worried. 11 wins might win the division. Who knows? Uh, the the Dolphins have a second place schedule, I think. So, but everybody was talking crap about the Dolphins, and seems to still forget that like every time they play a good team, they lose. So, say whatever you want, Milkman. I know you're a troll. It's fine. It's all good, brother. Um, but it's not over. I mean, is it likely? No, but it's not over. The Bills have another game against the Dolphins, and if they win that, they'll have the tiebreaker. It'll be 2-0 over the Dolphins. So if they end up with both 11 wins, then guess what? So, yeah, I mean, it's totally not over. But this is like a few years back when the Patriots won 10 games and they were in the lead in the division late in the season and blah, blah, blah. And everyone's like, oh, the Bills, oh, they've lost it, all this shit. And then guess who won the division that year? And then the Patriots came to Buffalo for a playoff game, and what happened? So it's not over, but doesn't mean I'm right. I mean, it doesn't mean I'm not even saying that I'm right because I'm not even saying they're going to win. I'm just saying it's not over. There's a lot of football left. That's all. Bills have 5 games. Dolphins have 6 games. That's a lot of football, man. All right, big drive for Seattle. I don't even think you necessarily need points, but you do need to make sure that you put a drive together here so you can give your defense some time to talk about what the hell is going on because they are getting torched. Oh, you're going to get a holding here. Yeah, DK Metcalf with the hold. Yeah, I mean, aren't the Broncos the perfect example of why it's not over, Milkman? Do you remember where they were 5 weeks ago? Do you know how many weeks the Bills have left in the season? So I know you're part of this, immediate reaction. I like to talk shit. I'm a troll, Twitter generation, whatever. But like, it's just not over, bro. There's fucking 5 games left. So doesn't mean the Dolphins can't win it. They are in great position to win it. They should win it. If they don't win it, it'll be a disappointment for them. But it's not over. Another flag. Oh, did he catch that? That was a great catch by Lockett. Was he able to secure it before he was out of bounds? And then what's the flag, too? Offside. Heck of a catch by Lockett. I want to make sure he controls it before he hits out of bounds. I guess we're not going to see it. But this is what I was talking about. Get a couple first downs. Make sure you give that defense some time to talk, figure out what's going on. How do we feel about Mike McCarthy, just in general? I'm just not a huge fan, but I don't have any reason not to be. You know what I mean? Dude, Gino is just like, F it, I'm throwing. And I love it. Let's go. I mean, don't worry, Rob. Us Niners going to finish the job at beating the Eagles. Yeah, you did a great job of that last year. See if you can do better this week. The run game is not working, and Gino is slinging right now. So, you know. Yeah, that old line is getting beat up. Jason Peters is a dude. playing at guard, too, no less. Just a violent human being. God, he's just a mountain of a man. And why wouldn't you keep playing, right, Jason Peters? You're 41. You can still get contracts. You're still making, even if it's just $1 million you make every year playing. You're playing in the NFL, man. I mean, hell yeah. He's still more than capable. Tied up with a field goal. Yeah, but Gino also has to get out of there. Barely got shoelaces there. Just take the 5 yard flag. It's fine. Carroll saying you move the football. Oh, and he missed it. That's tough. That's tough if you've got Seahawks plus 9.5. All right, let's see what the live lines are. Seahawks plus 10.5 currently. And part of me wants to bet the Cowboys minus 10.5 because they are just walking up and down the field. But all right, our next game for the weekend: Chargers at Patriots. 4-7 Chargers, and they are running out of runway as well. But you got a game at the 2-9 Patriots. West going east, always tough with an 11 o'clock start. But if you're the Chargers, you got to win games. Here's a great way to start. Patriots, one of the worst teams in the league. In fact, let's look at reverse standings. And see where they're at. Third worst team in the league. Carolina, Arizona, New England. Brutal. So Chargers got to get right, man. Chargers got to get right. Bunch of the early games are not great. It's part of the reason that they flexed Houston and Denver to a morning game. So this game plays into that. What do I have to say? I really just don't have much to say. Mac Jones, the fact that he keeps starting is crazy. Just put in Bailey Zappi instead of bringing him in midway through the game. Give him a full week's worth of prep and let him go out there and play and see if he can win a football game. I think Mac Jones is very obviously, quite apparently done. And I'm just shocked that, unless you want to lose, right? You keep running Mac Jones out there if you want to lose, but Milkman, hey, Mac is a Bama boy. Please show respect, please. I will not. He's absolute trash. Absolute trash. He's been exposed, and the rest of that roster is also not very good, which doesn't help him. But a bunch of injuries. Their weapons aren't great. I mean, it's just been a disaster in New England for the last 3 or 4 years. Get on that football, dude. You think that's a forward pass? Great. Just pick it up just in case. Come on, man. But yeah, Mac Jones is trash. So mental health guy. Josh Allen had a decent game, but what do Josh Allen and Justin Herbert have in common? Both will fail in leading their team to the postseason. I just don't understand the hate for Josh Allen after that game. Like, did you even watch it? It's not. I mean, come on. But okay. I mean, if you guys want to hate on Josh Allen, haters gonna hate. You know what I mean? That's what you guys do. Sorry, premature click. Uh, gonna take the commercial break with them at the end of the quarter and turn the pre-roll off, and then we will be back for the second quarter. Welcome back, everybody. Third down play kicks off the fourth quarter, second quarter, and Prescott keeps it and ends up just short. And it looks like the Cowboys are probably going to go for it. You can still sneak it here. You got those 2 D tackles pinched on the center, but you got room on the left-hand side. I can't believe they're going to try to draw them off. Oh, no, they did snap it. Thank goodness. And there you go. Easy little run for a first down. And their offense has just been a machine. I don't know why you would even hesitate to go for it on 4th and 1 there. So good call, I think, by them. Let's see. Milkman, Rob, 0-6 in overtime games. Oh, my God. I mean, if that's a stat that you want to look at, go for it. Yeah, I mean, I don't even. It's like quoting 1-score games when half the 1-score games are a backdoor touchdown or kicking a field goal to make it 8 points or what, you know what I mean? Like, it's stupid. It's such a stupid thing to say. If you watch that game and you think Josh Allen is the problem, then I can't help you. I just don't know what to tell you. I really don't. He is playing literally at an MVP level. He's leading the league in touchdowns, I believe. He's close to the league lead in yards. I mean, whatever. Oh, God. Witherspoon almost ended his life there. Way to come up. Seattle, the best they've done on defense so far is hold them to a field goal on that first drive, and I think he got 2 again. I really do. Neither of those things are true, mental health guy. Just not true. First of all, as long as the Bills have Josh Allen, they have a window. 1. 2, if you want to tell me the majority of it falls on somebody, you can point to Sean McDermott, but not Josh Allen. And the window of opportunity hasn't closed. Now, with this roster build that they have, I thought this was the last year of this window. But you saw KC rebuild it on the fly. As long as you've got that guy at quarterback, that's all that matters. You can rebuild it. Third down. Got to hold them to a field goal here, Seattle. Don't let this thing get out of control. Yeah, and I bet you're interested to watch the Bills play the Chiefs. Why would you be interested in that? Oh, because they're actually a good team, and you know that. Just like you were interested in them playing the Eagles, just like you'll be interested in them playing the Cowboys. Like, you guys trying to argue that they're not a good team and then be like, oh, I can't wait to watch the Bills Chiefs. Oh, gosh. Lamb tries to go over top. Lucky it didn't end up worse than it did because he exposed the ball when he did it, and that defender could have just punched that ball out. What's this flag about? Oh, picking up an OPI call. Okay. Nobody's got money on this game? Oh, mental health guy. Dude, I cannot figure out. I've tried to fix my alerts like 3 times, and I cannot for the life of me figure out why they are not popping up on the screen. But thank you for the gifted sub. That is awesome. I appreciate that. Um, I still think you're crazy if you want to say that Josh Allen is the problem. There's a lot of things I'll back off on if you buy a sub, but Josh Allen being the problem is not one of them. So, actually, that might be games because Josh Allen has receivers that can't get it done, and Patrick Mahomes might be a game. I think he meant to say, and Patrick has no receivers but can get it done. I mean, Chiefs Bills is going to be a great game. They're two really good teams. You guys don't want to hear that, but they are. It's crazy that none of you like the Bills drove down in overtime and got a field goal. The Bills scored 34 points, but you guys want to talk about Josh Allen. None of you want to talk about Sean McDermott or the defense giving up a touchdown drive in overtime with a 3-point lead. Like, Josh Allen is not shit this year. He's leading in a whole bunch of offensive categories. Like, I don't know. I mean, if that's what you're looking for, go for it. I just think you're. Yeah, because you ever buy a sub anyway, Milk. Thanks for trying to withhold something. Oh, there you go. Touchdown. And the Cowboys take firm hold of the game. I mean, well in charge. Josh Allen is third in passing yards. He's. There's a whole bunch of guys with 100% completion percentage because they've thrown one pass, which is hilarious. He's got 68% completion percentage. Let's see where he's at with TD passes. He is leading the league with 24 TD passes. And I know you're going to say interceptions. He's tied for the league lead with 13. So, Dobbs has 10, Hurts has 10, Mac Jones has 12, Sam Howell has 13, Jordan Love has 10, Tua Tagovailoa has 10. So, how about 20 plus? Let's see where he's at in that. They haven't been going deep this year, so I'd be surprised he has top 10. Probably 10th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's 12th. Actually, he's tied for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th. Because there are 1, 2, 3, 4 people who have. Oh, he's tied for 8th. So there are 4 people who have 37 and then 2 people who have 35. So he's literally having an MVP type season. So, you guys can talk as much shit as you want. It really doesn't change the facts. Mental health guy. 2 things will happen on this channel. I will give subs and air my grievances on Josh Allen. If you give subs, you're welcome to air your grievances, but, Oh, Milkman. Gifted a sub. Look at you. So is that just now doing that so you can try to hold it over my head in the future? Because it won't work. But thanks for the gifted sub. That's awesome. I appreciate that. And I'm going to have to totally redo my alerts because they should be working. But I have no idea why they're not. That's super annoying. But it's not something that I need to be working on right now, Rob. So I'm not going to do it. I appreciate the sub, Milk. You can talk shit about Josh Allen if you want now. But I just think you sound stupid. You guys really understand that, right? All right, what's our next game here? Ooh, Lions Saints. This might be the only other game of the morning that's actually decent, which is why they flexed Broncos Texans to an 11 o'clock start. Um, that one is on Fox though, and Broncos Texans is on CBS. So they wanted to give CBS a good 11 o'clock game. Um, Lions, man, have not looked good the past couple weeks, and it's part of one of the hard things of turning into a good team is keeping consistent week in and week out. It's why we're talking about the Bills right now because they are a good team and you know it, but they have not had the consistency that they need. And then just like the Lions lost the game to the Packers and almost lost the game to the Bears, the Bills lose a game to um, you know, New England, and then they lose a game to a good team like the Eagles, and everyone's like, "Oh, yeah, they're terrible." Blah blah blah. It's one of the hard things about being a good team is keeping the consistency. So they head down to New Orleans to play the Saints. Always tough to play in the Superdome. I just they need to kick it back into gear, and maybe not even necessarily right now. If they can just kind of float along and get a couple more wins, but throughout the end of the season here, the Lions need to find their stride again, like they had in that first month of the season, first 2 months of the season. Yeah, they're pounding away with Charbonnet, and just all over the field. Jason Peters playing every position. um, Part of the game plan has to be to run right at Micah Parsons. Um, Even if it's not successful, you just got to slow him down. And part of the way you do that against the great pass rushers, you run the football right at him. 3rd and 5 is big because it could really get out of hand here. Their defense has not been able to stop the Cowboys. There you go, first down. Ooh, ooh, look out! He's a slot receiver though. Like I don't. I mean, I see what you're trying to do there, but way to climb the pocket, and that'll be pass interference. It was a nice job by Gino. He could have freaked out and tried to peel out of the backside of the pocket, and he would have been sacked. But nice job to climb the pocket, step up in the middle of it, and was able to launch downfield and get a pass interference. These are so tough in terms of pass interference calls. Gotta, I don't know what the answer is to defending those underthrown pass interference calls. Receivers trying to come back to get the ball, I understand, but I think Gino's a better QB than Josh. I mean, Yeah, if you want to put stupid opinions out there, go ahead. Can Dak win MVP? Dak can absolutely win MVP. It's a it's homecoming queen. It's a popularity contest. If the Cowboys, uh, I think the Cowboys probably have to end up with the best record in the NFC, um, which means probably that they don't lose another game. But if they keep playing like this and they win the rest of their games and they win the NFC East, yeah, Dak can absolutely win an MVP. 100%. You know how easy it would be for a Dallas Cowboy quarterback to win an MVP? You kidding me? If Dak had Josh Allen's numbers, he would be the MVP favorite right now. I don't know if I thought that was a flag. Let me see. And Jigbo was calling for it, but show me. I don't need to watch Cleet Blakeman. Dude, he's got. Yeah, you're right. That is pass interference. My bad. Um, dude, Josh has 12 interceptions. Like, that is not. I don't know. I mean, would you like him to have less? Sure. Charbonnet into the end zone. Seattle back in the game. I thought that was a really important drive. So to cap it with a touchdown is fantastic. If the season stopped today, do you give it to Hurts? If the season stopped today, that is going to depend on me looking at these standings. If the season stopped today, the Baltimore Ravens would be the number one seed. The Kansas City Chiefs would be the 2 seed in the AFC. And I think both of them have a better case. Both Lamar and Patrick have a better case for MVP uh, than Hurts does. Hurts has been good. Um, they've got a couple plays that are unstoppable. He also has a hell of a roster. And if you look at his numbers, I just don't think they're enough for MVP. He's been really good, don't get me wrong. And this is the problem with having conversations like this about stuff like MVP. Because as soon as you say, like, I don't think he's had a good enough stats or something like that, everyone's like, oh, you think he sucks? I'm like, no, I don't think he sucks. But let's look at his numbers in comparison to other people. Let's see, passing yards. Hertz is like 10th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So passing yards, he's 10th. Completion percentage. Where you at, Hertz? 67%. See where he's at in TDs. And this isn't going to take into account his rushing TDs, but it feels like MVP voters never do. That's been Allen's problem for a couple of years here, where he could have won. He's got 18 touchdown passes and 10 picks. Did you hear that, mental health guy? He's got 18 touchdown passes and 10 picks. Josh Allen has 24 and 13. And you want to tell me how bad Allen's been. So just by your own standards, should Jalen Hurts win MVP? By your own standards. Either you have to say that both Hurts and Allen haven't been good, or both Hurts and Allen have. But you can't twist it. So I would think my favorite would probably be Patrick Mahomes. They are 8-3. The Ravens are 9-3. So you're with an unbalanced amount of games. But Patrick Mahomes has 2,917 yards with a 68 completion percentage, 21 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and all everybody has done is complain about how bad his receivers are. So Mahomes is going to win at least a couple more before he's done. It feels like this is maybe one where you look at the team around him and say that they aren't the best, and therefore you're thinking about giving it to him. Dak Prescott has 23 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, as well as 2,935 yards. He is absolutely in it to win an MVP. Everybody's been talking about Tua. No, but it's not. The team record only has an impact if you let it, right? So if you want to say that it's just the best player on the best team, then just call it that. Don't call it the most valuable player award. Jalen Hurts is not more valuable to his team than Patrick Mahomes. He's not more valuable to his team than Josh Allen. He's not. So if team record has a big impact, then what you're saying is the other 52 guys on the roster matter more than the one player. That's not what this award is for. The award is for who is the best player. Who's the best player? Do you want to know who has comparable numbers to Jalen Hurts? Justin Herbert. Herbert's got better numbers, actually. 2,826 yards, 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. So if you just, there's 53 men on a roster. You think the other 52 have nothing to do with wins and losses? Team record has a big impact? Come on. At least make coherent arguments here, right? Don't just talk out of both sides of your mouth because it fits your narrative. If you're going to talk some bullshit like that, at least make it make sense. Justin Herbert does not have better numbers than Josh Allen. Josh Allen has 3,214 yards passing, 24 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions. He's leading the league. So that's not. Justin does not have better numbers. I'm not saying I agree with it, just looking at history. Well, this is why you need the last 5 games of the year. You know what I mean? You need the teams to separate themselves. If the Eagles go through the year and only have 1 loss, is it likelier that Hurts is the MVP? Sure. But I just think I don't think it's overly likely. His numbers are just not impressive enough to me to warrant giving him an MVP. I think it would more likely go to a guy like Patrick Mahomes if they end up with the top seed in the AFC and all anybody did all year was talk about how bad his receivers were. I think it's way more likely to go to a guy like him. But that's just me. But like I said, Dak is absolutely in it. And how about this for a sleeper pick that I would never have told you 5 weeks ago. I did mention it in the offseason, though, about how this could be a great bet in the offseason for MVP. Russell Wilson. If the Broncos come all the way back and make the playoffs, Russell Wilson has 20 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. I don't think he's been overly impressive. I wouldn't give it to him. He's only got 2,200 yards passing. He's 1,000 yards behind Josh Allen right now. So I wouldn't give it to him. But with 20 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, if the Broncos come all the way back and make the playoffs, say they're on a, what would it be, 10-game, 12-game winning streak, something like that, he's got to look at it, which would be crazy. I mean, it would just be nuts. God, I haven't even seen Purdy on any of these charts that I've been looking at. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. Let's find Purdy here. 2,871 yards passing. The completion percentage is impressive. 70.2 completion percentage, and that's what you want in a Shanahan offense. Should be really easy reads. You should be completing a high percentage of balls. 19 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. But nobody thinks he's the catalyst of that offense. Nobody thinks that Brock Purdy is the catalyst of that offense. Is he orchestrating it? Is he playing really well? Is he a good quarterback? Is he a good player? Absolutely. All of that stuff. I like him a lot. But to win MVP, you can't win MVP and not be the best player on your offense. You can't be the most valuable player to your team and not the best player on your offense. And I want you to look the camera dead in the eye right now, and I want you to say, Brock Purdy is the best player on the Niners offense. Because he's not. And you know he's not. And I know he's not. And all the NFL writers know he's not. And everybody in the NFL knows he's not. He's not even the second best player on that offense. He's probably not the third best player on that offense. And I would say he's not even the fourth best player on that offense. I'd say Christian McCaffrey, Trent Williams, Deebo Samuel, and George Kittle are all better players than him. So if I could name 4 players on his offense that are better than he is, he ain't winning an MVP. It's just that simple. It's just that easy. Mental health guy, no shot with Russell. This is between Hurts, Dak, Pat, and Lamar. I know you don't want to hear it, but if Josh Allen goes nuclear, wins the last 5 games, and leads the league in every feasible category, he is in the hunt too, yes. I think Hurts is in the hunt because of his team's record, like you said. I just don't think he'll get it. Dak absolutely, I think, could be in the discussion, but I think for Dak to be there, the Cowboys have to prove that they're not a paper tiger. And for that to happen, they don't have to win the NFC East for that to happen, but that's one way that they can prove that they're not a paper tiger. For Dak to win it, they have to beat the Eagles and still lose the AFC East, or NFC East. You know what I mean? The Cowboys have to prove that they're not going to just get bounced in the first round or second round of the playoffs. Even though that's not supposed to matter. Patrick Mahomes, I think Patrick Mahomes just has to win the 1 seed. I think if the Chiefs win the 1 seed with as much shit as everybody has talked about that offense for Pat Mahomes, I think he's probably the favorite for me. And then Lamar, I'd say, is your solid second place guy. If the Ravens end up winning the number 1 overall seed, he's going to get a lot of hype to win it again. But I don't think there's no shot with Russell Wilson. The Broncos' schedule from here on out, the toughest game they have left is versus the Lions, who've been struggling. It is fully possible that they enter the playoffs on an 11-game winning streak. You know what I mean? Which is just absolutely bonkers to say. But if that happens, if they enter the playoffs on an 11-game winning streak, he would need to have better numbers through the back half of the season here. But 20 touchdowns and 4 picks, he there's going to be some noise. There's going to be some noise. So I don't think that's likely, right? I'm not telling you I think that's likely that that's going to happen. But you're saying no shot with Russell Wilson winning MVP, and I'm telling you it's not no shot. That's what I'm saying. All right, what's next? Lions got to go down and get that win. 100%. The Saints, I think, are a garbage team. I can't remember which one of you guys was telling me that they were good. I think it was Gabs. But the Saints are garbage. So, yeah, if you're the Lions, you got to go down there, get a win, and retake control of the NFC North. Falcons at Jets is the next game. Listen, man, this is actually an interesting game. Falcons, I think they're in the lead in the NFC South right now, which should tell you all you need to know about the NFC South, right? Am I right or am I right? Yeah, Falcons in the lead in the NFC South right now. So, division leaders, the Atlanta Falcons. Dak first and goal, by the way, after the 2-minute warning here. A little designed run. I don't know that I love the call, but I don't hate it either. Seahawks use the timeout to get the ball back. Smart. You know, they only have a certain number of downs here, right? They're first and goal. So they only have 4 downs. You got 3 timeouts. You can get the ball back. Yeah, definitely a shitty division. So Falcons leading the NFC South head to New York to take on the Jets, who opened their practice window for Aaron Rodgers. Open their practice window for Aaron Rodgers. Unbelievable. Jets 4-7, and listen, this is playing out exactly like I told you it was going to play out, Milk. You had said, what happens when Aaron Rodgers oh wow, that was a brutal sack. The flag better be holding. This is playing out exactly like I told you it was going to play out, Milk. You told me, hey, what if Aaron Rodgers comes back this year, blah, blah, blah. And I told you, by the time Aaron Rodgers gets back, they're going to be out of it. Jets are 4-7 right now. They are 15th in the AFC. And I know you guys have been watching me all year. The problem is how fat the middle of the AFC is. So to get into the playoffs, you'd need at least a 6-5 record. The Colts are in the 7 spot at 6-5. Then you have Houston at 6-5, Denver at 6-5, Buffalo at 6-6, Cincinnati at 5-6, Las Vegas at 5-7, LA at 4-7, the Chargers, and Tennessee at 4-7, and then you have the Jets in 15th. They literally have to crawl over 8 other teams to get into a position to make the playoffs. And so even if they beat the Falcons, then they play versus the Texans, at the Dolphins. They've got a game at home versus the Commanders, at the Browns, and then at the Patriots. They can't afford to lose another game. And even if they do, I don't think 10 wins, those 10 wins might be enough. But they're going to be hard-pressed to make it in. So this is playing out exactly like I told you it was going to play out, Milk. Exactly like I told you. The Jets, if they lose another game or two, they're in trouble, man. They're going to be too deep into the hole for Aaron Rodgers to pull them out. Listen, if they were 4-7 and had Aaron Rodgers at quarterback today, this week, I would agree with you. They could go on a 6-game win streak and make that last playoff spot. But guess what? They don't. It's Tim Boyle starting for them. So, I mean, they absolutely can't lose this game to the Falcons, but there's too much of a climb there. If you want to say the Bills are done, hoof. The Jets will just have lost too many games by the time Rodgers gets back. 4th and goal, minute 40 left. Looks like from the 2-yard line, Cowboys are going to go for this, which I find super interesting. I like the call, right? Because if you miss it, they got to drive the whole field in a minute 40 seconds with no timeouts. But a lot of coaches take the points here. Got a holding call. Dak gets in the end zone, but there's, I think, a holding call. But that's kind of a gift in a way because now he's going to get to kick the field goal. Yeah. Yeah, that's a hold for sure, though. It's a hold, and it definitely affected the play. One of those things that drives me crazy is a hold when it's like that doesn't affect the play at all. Hey, if you want to, miss this field goal, that's cool too. That's fine. We good with that? Almost. What are we doing here? Come on. So minute 30, you're going to get the ball. Minute 25, no timeouts, and be huge if you can go down and get a field goal. As we have this break while they sort this out, like, follow, subscribe, do all the things. Twitch has been on me about getting my subscribers up, so appreciate the gifted subs from Milk and Mental Health Guy. Okay, so they're going to be able to bomb this through the end zone. So you'll start at the 25. It doesn't really cost you all that much. All right. Let's see. Cardinals, Steelers, our next game to talk about. Right now, ESPN has the line that it's Pittsburgh minus 5.5. They honestly should have signed Carson as. They honestly should have signed Carson as back QB. Oh, are you talking about the Jets still? Yeah, listen, man. The fact that they got that far into the season with Zach Wilson and Tim Boyle as their options to play quarterback is inexcusable, if you ask me. The minute that Aaron Rodgers went down, you should have had Carson Wentz in that building. And if you don't start him, if you start Zach Wilson for a couple weeks, while Carson Wentz figures out the offense, I get that. But I mean, just totally, especially with that defense, totally inexcusable to me that your option at quarterback was Zach Wilson and Tim Boyle. I mean, that is dog shit. That's awful. So I agree with you on that. We do it to talk shit, to shit talk Josh Allen. Subscribe. Hey, if you want to pay me to talk shit about Josh Allen, go ahead. I love that. Give you a couple emojis to do it too. You know what I mean? Like, you're not just paying. You're getting emojis like this for when we're talking about Josh Allen. You know what I mean? Bang. Just like that. And emojis like this for when we're talking about Brock Purdy. Just kidding. I like Brock Purdy. But yeah, use your emojis, man. Go ahead. Tell us how you feel. Tell us how you feel. Actually, you guys might not have the elite one. I don't know if you do. But that's what we're doing when we're talking about what happened with the Jets. Why are the Patriots on so many primetime games in the end of the season? Next Thursday night football. Patriots Steelers. Gross. That is just an absolute bore of a game. Josh can hit, as shown by your arrow, so thank you for proving that. Every time you guys talk about Josh Allen, I'm just going to just bang right there. Every time. Every time. If you think Josh Allen is the problem, I just can't. I don't even know what to do with you. You guys haven't mentioned Sean McDermott one time. All right, Cardinals Steelers. As the Seahawks get ready for their drive here, which they'll have about a minute and a half. Try to get in field goal range or touchdown. Oh. Got to take a couple of those checkdowns on a 2-minute drive, especially with as much time as you have. But Cardinals, I consistently think, are going to be one of your best betting values that you can get because they are 2-10, but they have, I mean, Kyler Murray can at least make plays. You might not like him, but he can at least make plays, and that team had been playing very hard. So I don't know that I love a run call there, but I don't mind you taking checkdowns. And this is what's amazing about the Steelers. I still don't think they're a good team. I think they did themselves a favor by firing Matt Canada. But they are 7-4 and likely to go to 8-4 this week, and they're not good. It is infuriating. Same thing with the Browns. I mean, did you watch that Broncos-Browns game this week? Goodness. And Jigba with a nice little route there and picks up some extra yards by staying in bounds, tight roping the sideline a little bit, which means it's more likely that you get in field goal range now. Only 41 seconds. I don't love them letting that whole clock tick. I understand why they did it. They didn't want to give Dallas the ball back with time. But, yeah, I'm not, I don't love it. Seahawks are clapping for this flag. I thought it was going to be a holding call. Oh, no, offside? Oh, yeah, Dexter Lawrence did jump offside. Maybe the conference says that it was a holding call and the offside. So they'll take the 1st and 5 over 5 yards on 1st and 10, which is interesting. Not often that I think you would. Milkman says, I don't know. I think people blame QB before they blame coach, and that's why we're just shit talking Josh Allen. I mean, I know that's what you're doing. But Bills went down in overtime and got a field goal. And then their defense gave up a, 100-yard drive for the score a touchdown. So, I mean, come on. Now, listen, the defense has a bunch of injuries. Trey White, Matt Milano, Daquan Jones. I mean, we can make a list if you want, but at the end of the day, they scored 34 and lost in a driving rainstorm. So, like I said, if you guys want to say Josh Allen's the problem, that's fine. There are 28 teams, 30 teams in the NFL who would just fat QB swap him in a second. The flags are absolutely brutal. And just like that, you're in field goal range if you're Seattle. So, oh, they said that he was in bounds. Oh, that's a nightmare. All right. So, if you run a play here, you have to get a first down. You cannot take a non first down. No, that's exactly what you want. How do you let that sideline throw happen? Yeah. Kirk's saying the exact same thing. I have no idea why Bland would give him this much room. He wants the sideline. You know he wants the sideline. And you put him in a field goal that's easier to make, and you let him stop the clock. I mean, it's just a nightmare. All right, so now it's got to be out of bounds or in the end zone. Oh, and that's not only a catch, but pass interference, too. That's a touchdown. Unbelievable. And he caught it, and it's a touchdown. That is remarkable. Does he catch it? I mean, the ball doesn't move. Wow, that is tough. So the ball does definitely hit the ground, but it doesn't look like it moves. At least I don't think they're going to have enough to overturn it. That's one of those that it goes probably whatever the call on the field is. Sure, and you got the play has to get to the end zone, but if you're running Jigba down there, I think it's a catch. Let's see. Milkman actually talking about MVP. Josh Allen isn't even in the race for real right now. Right now, probably not. If he wins his last 5 games and they have 11 wins and he still leads the NFL in every statistical passing category, then he's got a chance. I'm not saying right now he's in the race. I'm saying he's not out of it. Again, you live in this black and white culture where it's either he's great or he's terrible, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm saying he's not out of it. They go on a 5-game win streak and beat the Chiefs, the Cowboys, and the Dolphins on that 5-game win streak, make the playoffs, maybe even win the division, and he leads the NFL in most statistical quarterback categories, then yeah, he's got a chance to win MVP for sure. If he ends up with as many interceptions at the end of the year as he has right now, it's going to look like a real pedestrian turnover number. What is taking so long on this call, man? I mean, I get it's a tough call, but make a decision. All right, so ball's going to be at the 1. You got 7 seconds left. So you got 1 shot at the end zone here, maybe 2. You can run a play in about 3 seconds. But if you run that second play, you're really taking a chance, especially with a home clock operator. So you're looking for a slant route here that takes 2 to 3 seconds. Yeah. Super Bowl play is absolutely right, Kirk. That's exactly what you want. Touchdown. And it took 2 seconds, so you would have even had another shot after that. But Noah Fant in the end zone. Oh, my God. Dallas gets a timeout off. Wow. 2 touchdowns taken off the board now for Seattle. Change the formation, but it's got to be a similar play here, right? You're looking for a slant little hookup. You want this play to take 2 seconds. Metcalf, touchdown. 3 touchdowns on this drive for Seattle. But this one, oh my God, I was going to say this one will finally count, and there's a flag. Get out of. Offside. All right, Seattle touchdown. Pete Carroll trying to jump up and bump chest with Geno Smith is all time. Yeah, this is what you want. Just a quick slant. Foot in the ground. Bland got torched. You've got to be leaning inside because you've got to know that they want that play to be no more than 2 seconds. So Seattle takes the lead going into halftime. I mean, you could not have guessed it. Let's see what the lines are, baby boy. Let's see. Dallas minus 4.5. Even down by a point. They're still minus 4.5. And listen, they've looked like the better team, but Seattle is game, man. And here they are with the lead at halftime. That's remarkable. And yeah, I mean, Al just mentioned it. You can go 2 for 1 here. So you take the lead into halftime as long as you execute this kickoff. You take the lead into halftime, and then you get the ball coming out. Score again. And by the way, Rob's up by 10.5 right now, which is just absolutely beautiful, you know? All right. 21-20 at halftime. Great game. Best Thursday night game of the year every year. These two teams played on Thanksgiving, so they get a full week off. It's always the best Thursday night game. Um, Part of me thinks that they should do a doubleheader the week after Thanksgiving, and then the third week the team should again play on Thursday night. And you go 3 games, 2 games, 1 game on Thursday night. But anyway, all right. As we do at halftime, go get yourself a drink, a snack, go to the bathroom, take a little break, and we will be back for the second half. Still plenty of games to talk about. We didn't even get through the morning slate for your Sunday, your NFL Sunday. So still plenty of games to talk about, and we got a good one on Thursday Night Football too. So come back and hang out. We will see you guys after halftime. All right, welcome back, everybody. Hope you got yourself a snack. Use the bathroom, Ready for this second half between the Cowboys and the Seahawks. Been a phenomenal game. Felt like Dallas should have been dominating, honestly. Really felt like they should be up, and they are losing right now. They're down by a point. So it'll be interesting to watch this second half. Seattle gets the ball first with a chance to pad the lead, and I think it's important that they do because, as we mentioned, it's a situation where Dallas played better and they're down by a point. That's interesting. They scored on every possession of the first half and they're trailing. I hate those non answers. All right, so big drive, I think, for the Seahawks to set the tone for the second half. Still pounding the rock with Charbonnet. And it hasn't been overly successful all night, but if you're going to run the ball, you got to commit to it. Most yards allowed in coverage by any player in a half for any team. That's kind of crazy. Got to get that ball to him quicker. So Geno boots out. You've got Smith-Njigba coming underneath the line, and he pops out into the flat, and he's your safety route. But when you boot like that and you see him that wide open, you got to get him that ball as soon as you can because the earlier you get it to him, I mean, he probably picks up a first down if you get it to him as soon as you hit that boot. Smith-Njigba only 31 yards receiving, and he really, I feel like, should have gotten credit for that touchdown, which would have been an extra 50 yards receiving and a touchdown. Um, so I feel like he had a better half than it looks like, but Geno is dealing today. And I mentioned it on the first drive of the game if you weren't here, but like this wide receiver core is phenomenal. Probably the best three in the league. And yes, that includes Chase, Higgins, and Boyd. I think the two and the three are better than the two and the three in Cincinnati. Um, but wow, there you go. See, and that's why you just pound into that line over and over and over again because eventually you're going to get that 14-yard run for a first down. Yeah, Noah, go find somebody, man. Noah Fant hesitating in the hole, and if you hesitate in the hole, then the back has to hesitate in the hole. Hit it. Just get up in there. Hit something. They're already on the 40, so you're looking at adding points here almost no matter what. Nice little student body left there. Wow. 15-yard face mask penalty, and now you're in the spot to put up another touchdown here and really change this game. Yeah, even Kirk saying he's surprised by it in the red zone already. It's a great point. It's a great point because I just made it, Kirk. Oh, Geno Smith had been hot all night, but he missed that throw. Little high. But he was wide open. It was a great read. Is that Disley? Wide open. Oh my goodness. 18-yard line now. Second and 10. DK. And he's going to get a first down, I think. They give him the first? They did. All right, so first and goal. Already up by a point. And I might be looking to get my middle right here. Still haven't been to AT&T Stadium down in Dallas. Yeah, I don't love that call. So you run it on first down, you pick up 2 yards, and you're just minimizing the amount of room you have to run routes on the field. Second down, you run the ball again and just mash it right up the middle. I mean, come on. From this area of the red zone, you're actually better off being a couple yards back here and running 2 pass plays because you're giving your guys more room to get open. It's not like you're at the 2 yard line. You know what I mean? You're on the 7. Back was open. Oh, Geno Smith. Let's go. Oh, there's a flag. Every time, every time they have scored, there's been a freaking flag. Touchdown. That's huge. All right, so Cowboys plus a point and a half is minus 125. Do I wait? Oh man, do they miss this? By the way, let's light a candle. What do you say? I normally light candles before I start, but they'll smell good. Bought a couple. I got gifted a candle by my mom and bought a candle that I really like. So we've got 2 real good ones right now. It's great news. I actually have like 15 candles, but all right, we got a bunch of games to cover here that we didn't get to in the first half. So Dolphins Commanders in Washington. And Dolphins did not play great against the Raiders the other week, but I'm not overly concerned about them. The rest of their schedule is pretty forgiving here. At the Commanders, Titans at home, Jets at home, uh, Cowboys at home will be tough. At Ravens will be tough. Bills at home will be tough. So they need to stack a couple of these wins. You can't afford to let one of these slip, in my opinion, if you're the Dolphins. But if you take care of Commanders, Titans, and Jets, you're probably winning the division. Probably. If you let one slip there, and you have 10 wins going into Cowboys, Ravens, and Bills, there is an outside chance the Bills get there and catch you. So if you're listen, if you're Miami, you just got to take care of business right now. Just got to take care of business. You win these next three, you're gold. You're good. And it's Commanders, Titans, Jets. You should have no problem. You really shouldn't have any issues beating these teams. Jalen Phillips going down is a big deal. Do not kid yourself. Props to Tua for staying healthy this long. Every time we talk about the Dolphins, preseason, during the season, whatever, we have mentioned is if Tua stays healthy, he's a good quarterback. He's underrated, I think, for my liking, in terms of how good I think he is. Candles being crazy. Um, but Tua has done that. He has stayed healthy. And that was one of the keys that we talked about for the Dolphins season. So um, you love to see that, right? You want guys to stay healthy and see the best that they have to offer. So yeah, I think these next three games are very important for the Dolphins, and then from there, you're playing for seeding and stuff like that. If you win these three games, you beat the Cowboys. All of a sudden, that game against the Ravens might be for the 1 seed. Who knows? You know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see what the Dolphins can do here moving forward. Commanders, I think, are out of it when it comes to playoffs. Let's take a look at how far back they are. I know a couple 5 and 6 teams are in it, but I don't think a 4 and 8 team. Yeah, they're 14th in the conference. The 6 and 6 Vikings are in the 7th spot right now. So yeah, I don't think the Commanders are going to find their way in. But Dak with a nice little duck there. Al getting frustrated with the flags, and I don't blame him. It's been a lot. Defensive holding on the Seahawks. All right, let's see. It was 1.5. I kind of want to wait. So from when Dak took his last snap to when he took this snap, the Cowboys went from a 6-point lead to an 8-point deficit. Seahawks scored 14 unanswered between Dak taking snaps. And that's what people talk about when they talk about that Madden double up. Like, that is what they're talking about. Flipped this game on its head. Jamal Adams writhing in pain on the field. Cowboys now -1.5 is even money. That's crazy. It's crazy that you can't even get. They're down by 8, and you can't even get money line even money right now. The disrespect for the Seahawks. It's crazy. Um, Adams popped back up. He looks all right, so that's good. As always, if you guys got bets on the game, let me know where you're at. I'm Seahawks +9.5, so I am searching for that middle right now. I was hoping to do it with maybe a Dallas punt here. They haven't punted all night, but if I can get them to punt here, I probably can get a point or two, or at least even money, for the money line. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Oof. Dak loves his tight ends. I don't know why they haven't tried to get him a more impactful one. In fact, I mean, maybe a place for Zach Ertz to end up. I know they like Ferguson and Schoonmaker, but so 2nd and 5 now. I was gonna say 1st and 5. All right. Come on, kids. What are we doing here? They flushed Dak out again. They just have not been able to get to him. I mean, a couple sacks on the night, but they feel like they're there, and you think you'd see more, to be honest. Wondering if we can run a play without a flag. That is not a good call. They're both all over each other. All right, well, the Seattle defense has not been able to slow down this offense, but holding them to a couple field goals um, has is what has resulted in their lead right now because that's I mean the difference in the score. And so if you have that mindset again as Seattle, they are picking their way down the field right now, but hold them to 3, man. Hold them to 3. Does he catch that ball? Man, all day. Yeah, Kirk's saying the same thing. This will be the 5th time in the red zone and only 2 touchdowns. You got to be thinking, I need to hold him to a field goal. 2nd and 10 now. Don't throw a flag. Ugh. Yeah, they called pass interference on Bobby Wagner. I mean, was maybe a little bit early, but Yikes. Yeah, I mean, you've thrown enough flags tonight. Like that was close enough that don't throw the flag on it. Oh, God, they're all over Dak and just can't get him down. Finally. All right, so 2nd and 13, and you're back outside of field goal range. And he had CD, he just overthrew him. Are you kidding? God, who put a call into the refs tonight? Jesus. 5 penalties for 22 yards and how many first downs? 4 first downs? Because there's been a couple defensive holdings. I mean, ridiculous. Great play. Who was, oh, Adams. Jamal Adams. Looking like his old self. Knifed right through where the pulling guard was and got into the backfield and was able to trip him up. Excellent play. Playing linebacker. Just shoot that little hole. Yep. It's a linebacker play, though. That's not a safety play. The guy was screaming in his face. I mean, listen, I'm not I am not a Cowboys fan here, but I don't know who this is. Six? Diggs? Of course. Diggs hits him, but then he gets all up in his face. And so Ferguson stands up and gives him the first down right in his face, and he was well within his rights to do it. And then Jamal Adams has nothing going on. He comes over and gets involved. Brutal. Oh, nice play. Who was that? Zero? Bush? Should have been a touchdown. Nice play. Yeah, Kirk's saying it right now. He's open. It was a great play by Bush. Pollard's got space. In. So Cowboys get it, and they're not going to go for two here to try to tie the game? No, they're just going to kick it. I'm a little surprised. Like that little pitch play for Pollard. I think it really accentuates his skills in space, catching the ball, all things he does well. So 28-27, Cowboys minus 2.5 right now is minus 140. God. Seahawks plus 2.5 is plus 105. I still got Seahawks plus 9.5, so I feel good about that ticket. Because it's a 2-score lead, you know. But I am looking for that middle because I do think the Cowboys are going to end up winning. Just haven't been able to find one that I like. All right, so the game that got flexed to the morning slot, Broncos and Texans, is our next one to talk about for this weekend, and a huge game for AFC playoff implications. These two teams are tied at 6-5. There is a 6-5 team in the playoffs, and it's not one of them. So moving forward here, this game is going to matter for playoff tiebreakers, trying to get into that 7th seed. I think the Texans and the Broncos both have a good look at it. Broncos have only played 4 away games, though, and that's interesting because that means that a lot of their schedule is going to be on the road here for the rest of the season. Like CJ Stroud, like the way the Broncos are playing. I don't think you keep getting turnovers if you're the Broncos, but the defense has been solid otherwise. Texans, I mean, it's improbable, but I've said as a rookie quarterback goes through the year, he falls off probably just a little bit is what you expect to happen. But young coaches, I feel like get stronger as the year goes on. Because every week that goes by, they realize this is how I want my week to look. This is how I want my Monday to look, my Tuesday to look, my Thursday to look, so on and so forth. And when they get in that routine, start finding things that they like, I feel like they get stronger in the second half of the season. Young coaches do. So DeMeco Ryans has a real opportunity here, I think. The bottom of that AFC is going to be tough to get in. Colts, Bills, Broncos, Texans, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? Like you're just gonna have a whole bunch of teams around for those playoff spots. It's gonna be tough, but it would be fun if the Texans got in. So, man, Seattle's drives, that's impressive. Touchdown, missed field goal, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. I told you, Geno Smith is dealing it tonight, man. So the running game, they've been running into a wall all night. But now those 1-2 yard runs are starting to turn into threes. 2nd and 7. And if you can get Geno Smith off play action, he just looks so much better than if you make him sit back there. Not tonight, but in general. Tonight he's been good in the pocket. OPI. Yeah, that looked like offensive pass interference if you're asking me. Third down, if the Cowboys can get off the field here, it's huge. Did he pick that? Get out. Get out. He goes through the receiver, which you're not supposed to be allowed to do, but we've had enough flags tonight. Yeah, and Dallas now with a huge stop right back into it. If you're Seahawks, again, you got to be thinking field goal, man. Got to hold them to a field goal. All right. Afternoon games on Sunday. Panthers and Bucks. Frank Reich fired. I mean, I don't think who's the best coach you think in the NFL right now? Andy Reid. I don't think Andy Reid is winning much more than one game with the Panthers so far this year. But who knows? Maybe Frank was part of the problem. I've got a soft spot for him, no doubt. So willing to admit that I might be looking at it with Bill's colored glasses. But that roster is awful. And if you don't think he's the guy to lead Bryce Young into the future, then you don't think he's the guy, and you got to get rid of him. You give yourself a little bit of a jump here to look at possible replacements for him. You do it this last week of the college season because if you want to look for any college coaches, you might think about bringing in. This is your opportunity. Dave Tepper, I don't know. A lot of people give him a hard time. He is a meddling owner, no doubt. No doubt about it. But, he also is trying to give his team the keys to win. And he hasn't been shy about trying to go get quarterbacks a bunch of different ways. And I think that's a credit to the owner. Jerry Jones, for as annoying as he is and meddlesome as he is as the owner, he also doesn't accept that team being bad, and I think that's admirable. So, the Frank Reich thing is interesting to me. Bucks 4-7, still in it for the division because that division is trash. But 4-7, and I just think Todd Bowles is an awful coach. I'm a Baker Mayfield guy. If you want to say he's not very good right now, I'm not going to stop you. But Todd Bowles as a head coach, it just needs to end. So I don't want to hope anybody gets fired, but it was a job he kind of lucked into in the first place. So it's only so much more Todd Bowles I want to watch. It was a hell of a catch by Deron Bland. All right, so they're on the 35 right now. And what a hit. Is that Weatherspoon? No, Woolen. Excellent hit. Love how aggressive these Seattle corners are. I really, really do like them a lot. As far as 1-2 corners go in the league, I think they might be my favorite. My favorite duo. Oh, Witherspoon got hurt on that play. And they are young, man. They are young. Nice job by Bobby Wagner. hits the underneath pass and able to close and tackle and force this fourth down. And it looks like Dallas is going to go for it. A field goal gives you the lead here. I am super aggressive, and I still would think about taking the field goal here this early. Win probability says go for it. That is one of many analytics. I hate when people say analytics says go for it. Dak on a rollout. And CD dropped it. Oh, man. So with 1 minute left in the third, you essentially get a redo on your pick if you're Seattle. You threw an interception, and they turn the ball right back over on fourth down. Man, I would have let it be noted that I'm not second guessing because of the outcome. Okay? Because I said it before the play happened. I would have kicked the field goal there. Field goal gives you the lead, man. We're not talking about trying to close the gap or keep contact. Field goal gives you the lead. I don't know. That's a tough call for me. I think he's going to have to answer for that one. All right, Browns at Rams. 7-4 Browns looked awful. They look so bad. They're not a good football team. Them and the Steelers, they're not good football teams. Man, just brutal. Flacco, QB2, could start versus the Rams is just a wild headline. But, hey, man, you put a vet in there. Tell him run the football, hit a couple passes. I don't know, man. It is... I don't know what to do with that. I really don't know what to do with that. All right. So Flacco could start. They've got an okay running game. I don't want to call it great. It's good. And the Rams looked hot last week. So right now the Rams are 3.5-point favorites. I'm kind of leaning that way too. Rams still in this playoff race. If they can get to 6-6, get to level, they might still be able to sneak in at the bottom of the NFC. This is an interesting game. It's not a nothing game. Do the Browns just start spiraling here after a bad loss to the, and by bad I mean, I don't mean like embarrassing. I don't mean like the Broncos are a bad team. I mean bad loss, like they lost 30-10. No, they didn't. It was 29-12. But I like to say 30-10 because it paints a different picture in your head, right? Like if you say a team beat a team 30-10, you're like, oh man, that was a real beatdown. And it was 3 points away from that. What a catch by Noah Fant. Get out of town. Great catch. And Gino is freaking dealing tonight. And Fant just outruns him. That's Fant saying, I'm faster than you. Joe Bands, what up? Appreciate you jumping in. Oh, double pass. Don't do that. Run it. Oh, is that a face mask? Yeah, I mean, that was a face mask, right? Any money on the game, Joe Baines? I got Seahawks plus 9.5. So I've been looking for a spot to middle it. Yeah, that's a that's a face mask. Oh, wow. Was that one of those speed reviews? I don't know if I like that. I I really think that should have been a flag. But okay, 2nd and 10. You're at the 45. You need to get a little closer for a field goal here. Ooh, I like that play call. Is he going to go? He's going to go. Oh, down to the 5. Nice effort from Alexander there. Nice effort from one of your DNs. Love that call. Little screen. Get it in Charbonnet's hands in space. Good luck. All right, we're going to run some ads here. We'll be right back, okay? All right, everybody. Welcome back. Excited for the fourth quarter. It's been a great game. I say every year, this is the best Thursday night football game of the year. You get two teams who played on Thanksgiving, so they get a full week off, and you really tell the difference in the quality of football for this Thursday night game. So, an excellent game so far on Thursday night. Seahawks now 2nd and goal from the 3-ish yard line. Really got to punch this in if you're Seattle, I think. And then you have an interesting question if you do. Let's talk 2-point conversion if they do score. Oh, he's open. Yes. Metcalf, touchdown. DK finds a kid in a Seahawks jersey and gives him the ball and it daps him up. That's beautiful. You love that. All right, so you're up by a touchdown right now, 27-34. If you go for 2, you make it a 2-score game. But if you go for 1, you force them to have to try the 2-point conversion. So it's an interesting question, I think, and I would love to see what analytics say about it. Not just win percentage, but that is part of it. But in terms of is it better for you to go for the 2 or force them to go for the 2 in terms of conversion rate? And you probably have those numbers for each individual team in the NFL. They kicked the extra point, so they're up 8. They're going to force Dallas to try the 2-point conversion. All right, so now it's the fourth quarter with an 8-point lead. I have to be able to get points for Dallas, don't I? I mean, I have to be able to get points for Dallas. Looking for my middle here. I got Seattle plus 9.5. Oh, yeah. Okay, Dallas minus 3.5 is minus 140. I don't even need that much, so let's go into thread. Minus 2.5 is plus 110, so I'm going to bet that right now. All right, so I'm middling with Dallas plus 2.5. That gives me an 12-point middle. Got Seahawks plus 9.5, Dallas plus 2.5. So if they go for 2 and don't make it, I'm still covering with Dallas, which is kind of what I was looking for. That's beautiful. You had to pay out the nose for the minus or for the plus 3.5, but plus 2.5 I'll take for any weirdness with a 2.5 point or a 2-point conversion. Showing the NFC playoff picture, man, there's a lot of teams that are in it for that last spot. Seattle's got to try to keep clear of that fray down for the 7th spot down there. All right, if you're Seattle, your only stop on the night came when they went for it on 4th down and dropped the ball. So, they're showing it right now. So I think you got to be thinking bend don't break kind of thing. Just don't give up any big plays here. Here's the other thing. You can eat a lot of time out of this 4th quarter. There's your big play that I told you not to give up. Pass interference. What did I tell you, man? And if you're willing, you turn and you look for this ball, you can deflect it. There's been some bad calls. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. There's been some borderline calls. This one isn't one that I complain about as much as Kirk is. Take that ball. Get the ball. Oh my God. You have to blow that dead if you're the ref. With all the flags that you throw on defenders for slamming a guy down or stuff like that, you have to call him down there. Ooh, did he step out? Nice tackle. Is that Bush again? Bush had a couple nice plays. I really like the Seattle defense, and they've been getting torched all night, but they've got a couple playmakers, man. That's crazy. I just thought about that because I do like the Seattle defense, and their only stop was that 4th down that CeeDee Lamb dropped. But Another loss. Yeah, I mean, the Seattle defense is just aggressive and great at rallying up and tackling. And they haven't stopped Dallas at all. And I still really, really like them. Oh, and it should have been a pick. Dak threw it into three guys. And he still hit him in the hands. But hey, I think if you're Seattle, a field goal's a win here. Oh, almost missed it. But snuck it in that upright. 35-30. What a game, man. I wonder if we've hit the over. All right, what's next? Game of the week is next. Niners, Eagles. Sunday night football. No, I'm sorry, that's Sunday afternoon. No doubt the game of the week. NFC rematch, NFC championship rematch. This time, hopefully, we have healthy quarterbacks all the way through. Listen, the Eagles are just not overly impressive to me. I think they're a real solid team. I think I really like the Niners in this game. I really do. San Francisco minus Vegas likes them too. Wow, I am shocked. The line is San Francisco -3 as a road team. So they're saying they think they're 5 points better than the Eagles. That is kind of crazy to me. That is enough points that I'd consider taking the Eagles. But I really, really like the Niners in this game. That's going to be a tough game for me to pick on Sunday. Of course, Sunday we will do the NFL pregame show with Sterls for the girls. 9 o'clock Mountain, 11 o'clock Eastern. We pick every game against the spread, and I put my money where my mouth is. I bet each game as we go down. So make sure you join us for that. I'm going to really struggle with this game on Sunday because I really like the Niners, but I do not want to lay 3 points on the road. So it's interesting. Going to be a fantastic matchup to watch the Eagles offensive line versus the Niners defensive line. And then the other side of the ball as well. Same thing. It'll be a good matchup. I think the Eagles offense versus Niners defensive lines are going to be the better matchup, but the other way is good too. I don't know if San Francisco has the corners that I want to shut down those Eagles receivers. And I don't know if the Eagles have enough speed to stop the running game of the 49ers. God, it's going to be a great game. I cannot wait to watch it. I hope it's not a dud. Yeah, I'm really excited for that game. But three points for the Eagles might be enough to get me onto Philly there. This is one problem late in the year. Vegas starts figuring out who everybody is. These lines get more precise. All right. Charbonnet with a pitch and a cutback. And I like them. Man, they stuck with this running game all night. And Charbonnet's not exactly that kind of back. A dude like Kenneth Walker, you run him into the line 20 times and he's going to break one. He can take that beating and dish it out too. Charbonnet's not really that kind of guy, but I really like them sticking with the run game, and it makes the passing game easier on Geno, who has been absolutely dealing tonight. 10 minutes left. And you're up by 5. I don't like burning a timeout there. Little 30-second timeout here. Listen, there's still a chance that you need those timeouts for a last drive. So I never like burning timeouts in the second half, but here we are. Eagles-Niners is the game that we're talking about. We're almost to our last 2 games of the day. Eagles at some point here, I mean, they have gotten so lucky in these past couple games. At some point here against one of these big dogs, they are going to fall. But Niners need it to be this one if they want that NFC Championship game to end up in San Francisco. San Jose, I guess I should say. You're going to mark them short of a first down here? So 3rd and inches? Yeah, 3 guys stacked up in the middle, and Geno hikes it, and yeah, that was a bad spot, but still gets the first down. Well, maybe it was a good spot. Oh, seeing Charbonnet, see. I feel like he should have hit that hole harder. He was looking for a cutback, but 3 yards there, and it's still an effective run game. 18 rushes for 59 yards, and he's like, yeah, that's not great. It's 3 yards a carry, man. You know? So 3rd and 7. It gives you COVID vibes. Oh, it's like you mean that it feels like it's pre-recorded crowd noise? I haven't noticed that with the Amazon broadcasts, but I've always felt the crowd noise in Dallas was kind of weird. Did he get there? It looks like a first down based on the spot. Yeah. And once again, you don't need to measure because it was right on the 35, which means a 45 is a first down. Yeah, it's like too quiet at times. Yeah, but that has been Dallas for me. You know what I mean, Caitlin? Um, I don't know. I don't. I mean, I'm not a big Dallas fan, so maybe I'm just a hater. But I've always felt like the crowd noise in Dallas is just strange, especially for as big of a stadium as it is. Oh, Tyler Lockett, you got to catch the football, man. What are you doing? What are you doing? But hey, listen, they're making this easy for Geno Smith. I'll tell you right now. He's slinging tonight, but this is an easy read. Move the safety, ball out to the Lockett, and he's got to make that catch. Yeah, you got to catch that ball, though. Kirk saying that ball got on him in a hurry. It did. Geno threw it hard and threw it before he broke, but you still got to make that catch. You're in the NFL, man. And Lockett knows it, too. He was banging on the ground. He knows. Luckily, it was only first down. Oh, now you're going to get a sack, though. Did he get rid of the ball? He was able to shovel it, so it looks like they're going to call it an incomplete pass, so 3rd and 10. It's a real nice play by Geno. He accidentally runs back into Odigizua and is able to just shovel it at his running back's feet to save him 6 yards, you know. Little screenplay. I don't hate the call here because now I think about going for it from the 45-yard line. Yeah, Kirk Herbstreit praising the game that Waldron is calling right now. I thought that was a great call. I really did like that. Um, win probability says go for this. I say go for this. Pete Carroll says go for this, and that's the one that matters. 4th and 1 from the 46. You need the 45. Oh, but I don't love that call. I don't love that call. Great stop by the Cowboys. When you run a run like that, I like sneaks because sneaks, it's instant, right? So you take that half second to say, am I going to run through this gap, or am I going to go outside? When you turn around and you hand the ball off, even if the guy's coming downhill, you give them that second. You're going backwards to go forwards. I don't love that. And there's only one result that can happen on that play, right? Like it's either going to work or it's not. If you play action that and boot it out and you give him the option to run or throw, I feel like you get a higher percentage chance of that working. Because there's multiple options. You're putting defenders in conflict. Do I guard Geno Smith running? Do I guard Geno Smith passing? Do I guard, this tight end? Or is he blocking? You put all kinds of defenders in conflict there, and I feel like you have then a better chance to pick up that yard. So I like the instant, I like the sneak, and then I like options. And that's why I don't love just straight run calls on 4th down. So they turn the ball over, and now if you're the Cowboys, you go down and put a touchdown on and even go for 2 and maybe turn it into a 3-point lead. Been just a fantastic game. I've said it a couple different times, but this Thursday night game after Thanksgiving, always the best Thursday night game of the year because both teams have a week, an actual week to prepare. So love this Thursday night game. The quality has been fantastic, and you love to see that. All right, as we go through our list, only a couple more games to get to here. Sunday night will be Chiefs and Packers. Packers in it for the 7th spot in the NFC, which is shocking. I mean, really surprising. Jordan Love's been playing better. Everybody wants to tell you about it. I don't know if I'm buying it. I really don't. But we'll see. I mean, if he can put together a good second half of the season, might be able to save his job because in the first half of the season, I thought he was donezo for sure. Um, the Chiefs with 3 losses, tied with all 4 division winners that have 3 losses. It is I don't want to say a soft AFC because I think it's a really good AFC. I just think there's so many good quarterbacks in the AFC and good teams. And so you got 4 teams with 3 losses right now. The Ravens have their bye this week. They haven't had their bye yet. They have their bye this week. So they have 9 wins and everybody else has 8. But Kansas City needing a win here to keep pace. And they play Buffalo next week. You know, you don't want to start taking losses here. Wow. Pollard with an attitude run. If you're the Chiefs, you got to be real careful. You don't want to take a loss here, play the Bills, and then maybe take another one. And all of a sudden you're 8-5. You're 8-5, and the Broncos are 6-5, steaming up your rear here. So I think this game's important, man. I really do. I'm not a big Packers believer, but if they can go in and get one, man, you got Chiefs at home for Sunday Night Football in Lambeau Field, frozen tundra. You're in December. I mean, you write storybooks about that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? AccuWeather says 35 degrees and cloudy. Let's go. That's what football season's about. It seems the refs have put the flags away. Somebody placed a phone call and said, "We've had enough. Thank you." So, who's going to take advantage of that? Who's going to get a little handsy here and win this game? Ooh, I've got the Colorado Avalanche and Arizona Coyotes on a second screen, and we've got a little scrap, little brawl, little fight. Oof. Oh, that looked like it hurt. Man, Dallas offense still moving. Yeah, that wasn't the best hit by Josh Manson. And had to fight about it. Sorry, all right, so we're back to this game. Watching a little scrap, a little hockey scrap, you know what I mean? All right, so you're in the red here. A called Dak run. And he'll pick up a first down. Okay, so it's not first down. Did they burn a timeout? No. I think it might be worth it to save the timeout there. I say this a lot. I know that 5 yards hurts, but 2nd and 7 is not unmanageable. That timeout can win or lose you the game. But it's okay to take the penalty there. I think it's more important that you keep all 3 of your timeouts. So, all right, 2nd and 7 now. Oh, what a catch! He was looking for Jamal Adams. Adams was in his face talking smack earlier, And man, he wanted to put it in his face, but I'm glad he didn't get a penalty there. That's funny. Yeah, you don't want Adams in pass coverage, ideally. All right, it's a 1 point lead. They're going for two. I kind of want them to miss this. Open touchdown. 38-35. What a game. What a game this has turned out to be. All right, what's our Monday night game here? Bengals, Jags. Man, this one would have been a lot of fun if you had Joe Burrow. Huge bummer. Bengals headed down to Jacksonville. I just don't see them being able to compete here, but maybe, Jake Browning now, a little bit of time under his belt. Maybe he's able to start to figure it out a little bit. I just think those Jaguars are real good. I think they're in line maybe for a number one overall seed here. I've been saying it since the offseason. The NFC South is their crossover division. The AFC South is the division that they play in. They just beat the Texans. Like, man, they are. Jacksonville's going to be tough, dude. Jacksonville's going to be tough. They might be a one seed. Got to take care of business in this game against the Bengals. It was supposed to be one of the real challenges for you, and got to take care of business here. You're in a four-way tie as far as losses go for the one seed right now. Let's look at what they got coming up. Browns, Ravens, wow. Panthers, Titans. So Bengals, Browns, Ravens. Oh, Bucks, Panthers, Titans are their last six. They should beat the Bengals. You'd hope they beat the Browns. That game against the Ravens could be for a number one seed. But the Ravens also play Miami in there, and I think they play KC too. So kind of crazy. You got a bunch of these teams in it for the number one seed in the AFC that are going to be playing each other coming down the stretch here. Bucks and Panthers should be 2 wins for them, and then Titans should be a win too. So really interesting. Yeah, Jaguars could end up with that one seed, man. You wish Burrow was in this game. It would make it so much more fun. And then, of course, Bills, Bears, Raiders, Vikings, Giants, and Ravens on bye this week. And I think it's the last week of byes. Might be one more week after this, but I think this is it. Let's see if we can look at next week's schedule. Cardinals and Commanders on bye next week. I think we're all okay with that. And then that's it. Then we're out of byes. All right. So 1st and 10 from the 25 for the Seahawks. You got 4:36 here. You want to run a 4-minute, right? Eat up as much time as you can, or eat up no time. Those are your two. You know what I mean? You want to either try to score real quick or real slow. Dude, Smith and Jigba is so good. I don't know that I need to see DJ Dallas carries right now, if we're being completely honest. Yeah, the offensive line's been good. The run game's been pretty good. And Geno Smith has just been dealing tonight. I got to be honest. I really have been impressed. Thought he had a great game so far. Well, I thought he had a great game. Take your check. Yep. Oh, he underthrew it. Of course, as soon as I heap praise on him, he underthrows a check down. Oh, see, and you called that on Bobby Wagner. All right, well, you only got 2 timeouts, but you have the 2 minute warning, too. It's an interesting call to see if you go for it here. I probably would. You're at midfield here. 4th and 4. Looks like Pete's going for it. Because either way, I mean, you got to stop him before the 2 minute warning either way. So it doesn't matter if it's at the 50 or at the 25. You know what I mean? Looks like it was miscommunication between him and Njigba. But he had more time than that, though. All right, so first down here probably ends it. Maybe 2. Yeah, I was going to say, man, swim. That doesn't make sense. Sorry, that's an old rugby term for get on the ground. Yeah, you feel like you should win if you score 35 points. Hi, Buffalo Bills. So they just let the time tick there, which means if you get a stop here, you use your timeout, but you don't. And that'll take us to the 2 minute. So now you got 2 timeouts. They'll be able to run another 40 seconds off, and I would not kick a field goal. It's the field goal of death, but they can kick a field goal. So the field goal of death, any field goal to put you up by more than 3, but less than 7, with this little time left, actually decreases your win percentage. And the reason for that is you gift the other team 4th down. Because if they're not going to kick a field goal, they're not going to go and take 3, then that means they're going for it on every 4th down. So instead of having 3 downs to pick it up, they have 4 downs to pick it up. And it hurts your chances to win. So going for it on 4th down instead of kicking a field goal of death actually makes sense and gives you a better chance to win by the percentages. Makes a ton of sense if you ask me. I mean, it's not a super hard thing to explain, but for some reason, I know that analysts miss it all the time and don't explain why it makes sense. But it makes a ton of sense. So kicking a field goal here for Dallas to go up 6 is actually a worse idea because you are not. If it was 4 and you were kicking the field goal to make it 7, that makes sense. But if you're kicking a field goal to go from 3 to 6, not good, man. Not good. So field goal of death here. If you're Dallas, you got to be cognizant of that. You can run probably, I'd say a minute off the clock with the timeouts in this set of downs. But if you pick up a first down, you win it. So you're looking to get a first down and then get down probably because you don't want to give them the ball back. There is a school of thinking that says let them score because the time is more valuable than the score, even though you'll need a onside kick. But I'm not quite there yet. That's not an analytic that I like. That particular move. If they were up by 1, maybe I would think about it, because then it's still just one score. But all right, here we go. First and 10, a run. And you know they're running, so you should be able to stop it. So 5 seconds there. Yeah, that's brutal. That 4th down run call is really what's haunting you right now. Oh, Patriots Steelers is our Thursday night game next week. Maybe I might not even stream that. Patriots are so booty. Ugh. Cheeks. Cheeks, my friends. Run play. There you go. You get a stop. You're giving up too many yards on these run plays. You know they're running the ball. I mean, come on. No punts by either team tonight. And it's been a great game. I don't feel like the defenses have played as terribly, but I mean, yeah, there's all kinds of contact, but he can't run through the cornerback. Okay, so here's your field goal of death choice, right? So yeah, you go. So McCarthy understands it. Go for it for the win. 4th and 3. No, he's just going to try to draw him off. Is he going to kick the field goal? He is going to kick the field goal of death. Oof. Okay, so you're going to end up with a minute 45, no timeouts. And Al's making the point, and it's a great one, that this is the exact scenario they were in at the end of the first half. Six-point lead. Kirk's taking a shot at CD Lamb in that pass play. With the way that you were running the football, I'd probably call a run there. I don't mind the aggressiveness, but come on, what are we waiting for here? Kick the ball off. All right, 143. No timeouts. So remember, the first down is the hardest to get. You're going to have to take checks downs. You're probably going to eat some time, but that's how you open it up. Bang. Picks up a first down just like that. Nice little out route. Yeah, great route from Lockett. That was beautiful. $138. There's your check down. You're at the 50 now. Plenty of time. 125, probably 115 by the time you snap this. $118. Oof. 3rd and 2. But remember, you got 4th downs all the way down the field now. So you got 2 downs to pick this up. Nice play. Who was that? 2? I don't know who 2 is. Jordan Lewis. Excellent play. So here you go. 4th down, 4th and 2. And that's why, Fant catching that ball on that out route would have been nice. It was underthrown. Would have been a great catch, but you just don't want to put yourself in this situation. 4th and 2 from the 50. Here we go. Why are you throwing that ball away? It was 4th down, Gino. Like his instinct told him, oh, just throw the ball at the back's feet. But yeah, that was a mess. It was a mess of a 4th down play when it matters most. How is Micah Parsons unblocked on a 4th down play? Can somebody explain that to me? I don't care it's an overload. Wow. Well, it was a hell of a game. And Dallas survives. And I mean survives. At the beginning of the game, they looked like the better team. Towards the end here, kind of felt like it was Seattle's game to lose. And they did just that. They did just that. All right, well, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Only a couple of you, so I won't rage out. Don't forget, we've got our NFL pregame show Sundays, 9 o'clock Mountain, 11 o'clock Eastern. So make sure you're tuned in for that. Me and Sterls will pick every game against the spread, and I put my money where my mouth is. And what else? Might do a championship Saturday, do a couple college football streams as well. So come back, hang out. Always love talking sports with you guys. Hope you have a wonderful evening, and we'll catch you later.